Hey everybody, it's Erica Hornthal, a therapist who moves you. I'm here again on this Tuesday afternoon for a 4-part series for May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I'm going to lead you through a movement meditation. So in the past, I've been doing a lot of talking. I will be talking, just guiding you through this meditation, but it's not going to be educational. I'm not expecting to take any Q&A at the end. So just find a comfortable space wherever you are. If you need some water by your side, please grab some. It's not necessary, but I am going to invite any of you who want to have a piece of paper and a pen or pencil handy so that as you're moving, if anything comes up or thoughts kind of float in, I always invite people to just have a pen and paper available so that they can write down whatever comes into their awareness. It might not be necessary, but just in case, it's always a good idea to just have a pen and paper handy, write down anything that comes up as you are engaging in this movement meditation. Okay, I think that's it. I guess just a reminder, my name is Erica Hornthal. I'm a board certified dance movement therapist and a licensed clinical professional counselor. I'm the CEO of Chicago Dance Therapy, and I practice, preach, live, and breathe dance movement therapy. If you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to me. My handle is Erica Hornthal right here on Instagram. For any more information or for other specialists, be sure to tune into Doctors for Dancers and stay tuned to this free dance training platform because a lot of amazing classes and educational opportunities are still coming your way. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to apologize now because I feel like there's just always buzzing or something coming through on my phone, so just bear with me. But this will be available after the fact. I'm going to try and save it and make it available for anybody who wants to participate in this movement meditation after it becomes live or after it goes away. All right, so I guess what is a movement meditation? I think it means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. For me, a movement meditation, at least for today, is going to be about connecting our minds and our bodies, creating space to become more aware, and ideally just giving us space and time to recuperate, to take care of ourselves, and again, to just notice what you notice. Notice what comes up. And that's why I always encourage people to have a pen and paper available, because as we're moving, it might not be the right opportunity to kind of stop. But if something comes up and it seems important or pressing, I just think it's really important to write it down and revisit it later. So my thoughts for this movement meditation, my intentions for it, are for you to leave relaxed, inspired, connected, and maybe even rejuvenated. If those don't happen, you didn't do it wrong. Sometimes just emotions come up, right? We've talked about this before. When you're working in the body, it houses everything and emotions come up, even if our intentions are for peaceful, thoughtful, quiet, calm experiences. You just never know, things surface. So just be gentle with yourselves, be compassionate, and yeah, let's get started. All right, so I haven't done this before. I'm gonna try to play some music in the background. I've done movement meditations before. I haven't done music and movement on the screen. So hopefully it's not too loud. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear it, but I'll just have it playing in the background just in case. Again, you might not hear it. It's just calming, relaxing music. If you have music that you'd like to play during this in your own apartments, please do. So I'm going to try standing for this. I know that you can't see my whole body, but it's more important that you hear what I'm telling you as opposed to watching me. It's not about following me. It's not about experiencing my movement. It's about tapping into your own movement. So it's really more important that you hear what I'm telling or how I'm guiding you, and that the movement comes from you, comes from within. So that being said, I'm going to invite you to just find a comfortable position. This may be laying down, it may be seated, or it may be standing. And I would invite you to have enough room around you so that if you want to reach your arms out or up over your head, or if you choose to step back into space, that nothing is going to really impede that space around you, at least your immediate kinesphere. So maybe just start in that realm of just noticing and just maintaining the space around you, right? And if anything gets in your way and you're able to move it, by all means, this is the time to do that. So once you feel like you have space to be, to stand, to sit, to lay down, you can either close your eyes or just focus on a very soft point, right? So just kind of a soft gaze that may be in front of you, that may be towards the floor. And just take a moment to connect with your surroundings. We're going to start with a little check-in of the senses. So I'm going to invite you to tap into sounds. Any sounds that you may be hearing or lack of sound. Perhaps you're in a very quiet area. I am right now, so hopefully you're not hearing not too much background noise. But you may be living in on a very busy street, in a very busy city, and just pay attention. Notice the sounds that come into your apartment, that come into your room. I want you to focus on any touch, right? Notice what parts of you are touching other parts, where your hands are resting, where your feet are resting. Is your body supported by the floor? Is your body supported by the chair? What's touching your body? This is a time to notice even how your clothes are laying on your body. Can you be aware of how your clothes sit or how your body rests inside of your clothes? Can you be aware of the hair on top of your head or any accessories you may be wearing? This is also a time to tap into the environment around you. Can you notice the temperature? Do you feel any cool breezes around you? Maybe you just did a workout and you're feeling the sweat, or the stickiness, or the clamminess. I want you to just gently tap into any smells. Do you smell anything? Are they pleasant smells or not so pleasant smells? Just notice, be aware. Allow yourself to tap into taste. Notice any lingering tastes or thoughts of tastes, maybe something you'd like to be tasting or anticipation of something you are going to be tasting later. Again, it may be pleasant, it may be not, but again, we're just becoming aware. So now I want you to just notice your breath. You don't need to change anything about it. Just notice where you feel it, where it lies in this moment. Perhaps it's up in your chest. Maybe it's deep down in your belly. And just take a moment to breathe. Just inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth, allowing your jaw to open as you exhale. Again, taking a breath in and exhaling. want you to just pay attention and become aware of what you're feeling. What emotions are maybe just at the surface? What have you been feeling maybe up until this point? Or again, maybe any emotions that you're hoping to feel at the end of this meditation. And again, the goal is to not place judgment on these feelings or emotions. I want you to just notice them. Allow them to exist in your body. And ideally exist without pressure or judgment to release them or increase them or negate them. Our feelings and our emotions are part of our human experience, and it's more about how we manage and cope with them than it is about how we get rid of them or alleviate them. So just notice what you brought into the room with you, any emotions that you're feeling. So we're going to move into a body warm-up. And again, this can be done seated, standing, or laying down. But we're going to start at the top and move our way down. So again, with your eyes closed or open with a soft gaze, just start to become aware of your head, the top of your head, your scalp, the back of your head, and the sides of your head. And I want you to allow yourself, if you can't or are not aware of those parts, to use your hands to increase awareness. So that may be applying pressure or just a gentle touch to any parts that I just called out, right? The top of the head, the sides, and the back. I want you to draw your attention to the front of your head, your face, your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyes, your nose, your lips, your cheeks, your jaw, even your ears. And remember, no one's watching. I want you to just engage those parts, right? So eyebrows, ears, nose, mouth. Stretching, moving any of those parts that you can. Again, using your hands if you need to just apply some pressure or gentle feedback. We're going to move down to our neck. And I want you to just become aware of your neck, any sensations or feelings that it's holding in this moment, and gently start to move your head using your neck. And there's no right way to do this. It's just in the moment, allowing your body to be heard. Allowing your body to move as it needs in this moment. And you may notice that as you start to move your neck, your shoulders start to move. So we're just going to gradually tap into our shoulders. And again, just start gently moving your shoulders. Noticing all the ways you can move your shoulders. Reminding yourself to breathe through this exercise. If something feels tight or tense, allow yourself on the exhale to move those parts. We're going to start to move down one arm. Just manually stimulating the muscles, the biceps, the triceps, the elbow, the forearm, the wrist, and the fingers. And gently doing the other side, starting at the top of the shoulder, moving your way down, biceps, triceps, elbow, forearm, wrist, hand, fingers. And let this start to move your arms in any way you need to. Let's step back a little bit. This can be a stretch, this can be your reach, maybe more gestural, maybe more massage. Excuse me, maybe it's a shake. Kind of tap into whatever rhythm you need to use or explore in this moment. And so again, that may be more of a shaking, a bouncing, or maybe it's a nice gentle flow. Maybe trying both and just noticing which feels better or what you need right now. You may start to feel your core engage. So start moving your chest, your spine, your abdomen. Allow your body to twist. Maybe even stretch to the side. And focusing on the waist up, allowing everything from the waist to the top of the head to just take up space as much as possible. And from the waist up, just exploring the space around you even. Taking a deep breath in. I'm blowing it out. We're going to move to our waist and our hips. I'm going to move back a little bit more. And again, regardless of if you're on the floor, seated, or standing, just start to tap into your pelvis. So this may be a rocking motion. This may just be, again, a gentle massage or a manipulation. You may even just place your hands on that part, your lower abdomen, your lower back, your pelvis, and just allow that weight to be felt. You may find a rocking motion pleasurable, or maybe it provides a form of release. And maybe it's just a mindful acknowledgement of that part of your body as well. Just being mindful and bodyful of that part. Moving to the tops of the thighs. just under the buttocks, maybe even the hamstrings. Just paying attention to those parts, starting to move them. So anything really from the pelvis to the knee. Start to bring attention to your knees. To your calves, to your shins. To your ankles. And ultimately to your feet. Allowing your feet to spread, feeling the pressure on the bottom and tops of the feet, and being mindful of each toe. And allowing everything from the waist to the toes to move. And now I want you to bring your upper body back into awareness and just move anything you need to, or maybe as much as you can, from the head to the toes. And again, just take up space. And just move your body. You may find that you start to focus on a certain part of the body. Maybe you're favoring your hips. Maybe you're favoring your shoulders. Maybe you're favoring your fingers. Maybe you're concentrating and becoming more mindful of a certain part of the body. And just allow yourself to explore that part. See all the different ways you can move that part of your body. Explore its ranges, its limits, its boundaries. Notice if that part has anything that it needs to say. What feelings it may be holding on to, what emotions it houses, or what intuition it may have. And remember to breathe into those parts, filling the spaces with oxygen and nurturing those parts that want to be seen and want to be heard. Now I want you to think back to the body warm-up, to a part that maybe was either difficult to access, a part that needs more attention, or a part of your body that you rarely ever move or think to move. So I'll give an example in this case. I usually think of my elbows. It's not a part that I pay a lot of attention to, and personally, it's the part of my body that gets very dry. I forget to put lotion on them until something reminds me, or I actually happen to feel how dry they are. So think of a part that you don't pay attention to, that gets overlooked, or that during the body scan needs more attention, and focus on that part of your body. And allow yourself to ask it those same questions. What is it trying to say? What does it need? What does it want? And just let the mind listen to the body. Let the mind take in what the body is trying to tell it. And just remember to breathe, sending air and oxygen to that place that needs more attention or gets overlooked from time to time. And bring your attention back to your entire body, or as much of your body as you can. And just do a little check-in, noticing how it's doing, how it's feeling in this moment. What, if anything, has changed from the beginning of this mindful meditation to where we are right now? Keeping in mind that the intentions and the goals that we set were to take care, to connect mind and body, maybe to relax or be more aware. And I'm going to invite you to tap into that word, self-care. Let it sit in your body for a moment and notice where it lands. And I want to give you an opportunity to embody this term self-care. What does that look like for you? Maybe it takes on a posture or a gesture, or maybe it's just a feeling. And what would that look like, or how does it take form in your body? And just allow yourself to move. Self-care. Understand that if this isn't easy, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It's not easy for us to take care of ourselves. And in this day and age, with the difficulties that we are feeling and in the midst of, self-care may be really difficult for a lot of us. So just be intentional. Notice where your self-care lies, where it comes to the surface, or where it's embodied. If we can start to pay attention to where we feel it, we can start to give it more attention and prioritize it more throughout the day, throughout our lives. And again, take a nice deep breath. And release. And I'm going to invite you to just engage in any movement that you need right now. Letting the body speak for itself, trying not to let the mind cloud the judgment of the body. But that may be a walking, it may be a jumping, it may be a swaying, it may be a rocking. And just allow your body to move. Some things to pay attention to as you move. Elements like time. What time is resting in your body right now? What's the rhythm? What's the pace? What's the intensity? Are you feeling like moving slow? Are you feeling like moving fast? Is there a lot of motivation? Are you feeling unmotivated? Are you feeling lethargic? Are you feeling energized? What kind of energy and what rhythm is running through your body? Pay attention to the element of space. How much space do you feel like taking up? How much space do you have to take up? Are you limited by the space around you? Or can you embody and become the space that you want to take up? Think about weight. Are you feeling light as a feather? Are you feeling heavy, weighted down? Is it easy to move? Is it really difficult to move? And lastly, thinking about the element of what we might call flow. How free-flowing your energy is right now versus how bound and tight and tense it may feel. And again, it's not about changing any of these, but just becoming aware of where our body is in this moment. What elements are housed in our body, how we're feeling, and how the awareness of these in our body may change the awareness of them in our minds. And allow whatever movement you are feeling or doing in this moment to bring you to a new place in the room. Notice if when you change your environment, anything else changes. And you are welcome to stay in this new place or return to the place where you began. But just give yourself and your body the opportunity to explore a new surrounding, a new environment, maybe a new facing, a new dimension. If you were laying down, maybe now you're sitting up. If you were in the corner, maybe now you're in the center of the room. Just giving yourself a couple minutes to explore this new perspective. Remembering to breathe. Remembering to not place judgment, or to just notice the judgment and not let it cloud your body's needs or limit your body in any way. We're going to slowly bring back into awareness several of the things that we highlighted. One, I want you to focus or just remind yourself of that part that needed some extra attention, that felt overlooked, or had something to say. And just acknowledge that part. Next, I want you to go to that part that you were very tuned into during that body warm-up. The part that really felt alive, engaged, tended to. The part that maybe moved very freely, openly. The part that naturally comes into your awareness. And lastly, I want you to bring your attention back to this notion of self-care. And if you haven't by now, find a position that you can relax into. Again, that may be seated, maybe sitting, or it may be standing. Reminding ourselves that even in stillness, there is movement. Our hearts are beating, the blood is flowing through our veins, cells are dividing. And just breathing into that moment. And sitting with this idea of self-care. Allowing it into the body and noticing what shape it takes on, what space it takes up. Maybe what color represents it. Maybe there's an image that comes to your mind. What is self-care to you? What do you need to take care of yourself? I think we all need a reminder to take care of ourselves during this pandemic. It's very easy to think that just because we have time and a lot of resources at our fingertips doesn't necessarily mean that we're taking care of ourselves. We have to pay attention, notice what we need, and as hard as it is, not be afraid to ask for it. So if you have that piece of paper and pen, I encourage you to write down what you need to take care of yourselves. What is self-care? What does it look like? What are you sitting with right now? How does it sit in your body? How do you embody self-care? And if you don't have a pen and paper, then just put it in the comments. If you feel inclined to share. Maybe it's an emoji, or maybe it's actually words that you want to express. Please do so. And just take this time to self-reflect. And to just be in this moment, which, as I mentioned, is often hard enough. We're slowly going to start to cool down the body, starting with our feet. Excuse me. This is just a noticing and acknowledging of the body. A little bit faster than our warm-up, just kind of going up the ankles, to the shins and the calves. To your knees, paying attention to your thighs, your hamstrings, your bottom, your hips, your lower abdomen. And in this acknowledgement, if you feel like moving any of these parts or stretching them, please do. Or maybe just breathing into them as we create awareness. Back to our waist, our core, our belly buttons, the center, our rib cage, the spine, both the back and the front of the body. The shoulders, the chest, the upper back. Acknowledging all parts of our arms, upper, lower, wrists, fingers, hands. Back to the neck and the head. Back to where we started, sensing the front of the face, the sides of the head, the back, and the very top. And increasing this awareness through breath. And as we breathe in, imagine sending the air to all the parts of your body. On the inhale, bringing in self-care. And exhaling anything that doesn't allow us to do that. Breathing in compassion. Exhaling judgment. And now just breathing. I want you to try to thank yourself for participating in this meditation, giving yourself the time and space to practice self-care, to tend to the mind and the body, to create even just a little bit more awareness. And I asked at the beginning what feelings or emotions were coming into the room. And just notice if they're still there, if they've changed, if they've been replaced, if they've been lightened. And just notice what you feel now. Bring your attention back into the room. If your eyes have been closed, take a moment to slowly open them. If your eyes have been in a soft gaze, then bring them into focus. This concludes the movement portion of our meditation, but I do want to leave some time for any processing, any thoughts or comments that you'd like to share. If you don't feel comfortable doing them publicly, you can also share them with me privately through a direct message at Erica Hornthal on Instagram. While this is not therapy, being a movement therapist, I always like to leave time and space for verbal processing and just feedback and reflection. And for a lot of people, it helps to be witnessed and it helps to be seen. And if that's something that you need, that is something we can all provide in this moment. Just taking a moment or two. Maybe just allowing yourself feedback in this moment, thinking it, writing it down, acknowledging it. I want to thank you all for participating and allowing me to be a part of your day. I'm going to make this available so it should stay up longer than just the live. So if you want to do it again or want to revisit it or revisit a certain part or share it with anyone, please do. Just a gentle reminder that I will be here again next Tuesday, same time, taking your questions. Any mental health questions or concerns that you feel free sharing, either real time, I can bring you onto the feed, or if you want to send them to me ahead of time and have them answered anonymously, that's okay too. Okay, I'm gonna try to read some of your feedback. Oh my goodness, so many things are coming in and I can't read them because I have it horizontal. So I'm so pleased that you guys have feedback and that you're, obviously resonated with this. You're so welcome. Thank you guys. Wow. Oh, the images that you guys came up with, just amazing. Am I doing sessions? I do practice, I'm doing telemental health right now. So, yeah, if you guys are interested, feel free to contact me. I do guided meditation, imagery, dance movement therapy. Yeah, if this is something that you need more of, absolutely feel free to reach out. I'm happy to be able to, provide this to our Doctors for Dancers community. And yeah, again, thank you guys so much for your vulnerability and your willingness to go there with me. Again, like I mentioned, if you're interested, next week we're going to have a little Q&A, kind of an Ask the Doctor, even though I'm not a doctor. But any mental health concerns, thoughts, how can I use movement to help this? Or, I'm experiencing this in my mind, how can I use my body to help, not necessarily alleviate it, but manage or cope with certain things that I'm experiencing. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so it's super important to me that we continue this conversation and give everybody the tools and resources, especially from a body perspective, to manage and cope with and maintain positive mental health. So, all right, well, thank you guys. Stay healthy, stay well, and most of all, keep moving. Take care.